manna didn't keep at sundown, had to trust him for the next day too. Learn that lesson slow, learn it every morning, all over again. If you try to store more than what today required, if you've carried yesterday's provision like a fire that should have kept you warm for weeks but burned out overnight, we've all tried to hold it. So we've all woken up weary, not knowing that are we. Just enough to make it through the day, and not a crumb to spare, teaching us to trust tomorrow like we trusted yesterday's share. If you're hungry, he's the bread today. If you're worried, he will make a way. If you need provision one more time, he's enough for now, he's enough for mine. If tomorrow's scary, he's still there. Bread for the morning, bread for the morning. We've all tried to build a barn to hold the manna for a year. We've all watched the extra portion spoil, watched it disappear overnight, like he was trying to teach a stubborn heart that trust isn't a once-a-year event, it's every day a fresh new start. I stopped trying to stockpile faith enough to last a while, started waking up expecting manna with a different kind of smile, knowing that today's provision doesn't have to last forever, just has to get me through today. If you're hungry, he's the bread today. If you're worried, he will make a way. If you need provision one more time, he's enough for now, he's enough for mine. If tomorrow's scary, he's still there. Bread for the morning. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, trust the daily bread. If you believe it, if you receive it, somebody testify, you'll always be fed. This for everybody trying to carry next year's worry now. This for everybody trying to figure out the how of every future problem, for us even on the map. I want you to lay the extra burden down, to close that gap between today's provision and tomorrow's fear that waits. Trust the manna that arrives each morning at your gate. You don't need a barn of faith, you just need enough for now. He's been faithful every morning, he will find a way somehow. If you're hungry, he's the bread today. If you're worried, he will make. If you need provision one more time, he's enough for now, he's enough for mine. If tomorrow's scary, he's still there. Bread for the morning, bread for the morning, bread for the morning, bread for the morning. Fresh again, fresh again, fresh again today. Trusting now, trusting now, trusting for today. Bread for the morning, bread for the morning, My grandfather taught me to find the North Star before he taught me my own name. Said, as long as you can find that star, boy, you can never really be lost. If you've been driving roads that don't lead anywhere you know, if you've been following the taillights of a life you didn't choose, if you've forgotten what direction even means to you no more, we've all lost the North Star underneath the city's brighter glow. We've all traded quiet guidance for the noise of neon signs. We've all wandered off the path, chasing lights that weren't as fine as the steady, quiet burning of a star that never moves. No matter how the seasons change, no matter what a person loses. If you're driving blind, he's a North Star still. If you lost the way, he's guiding still. If the city lights have drowned the sky, he's still burning steady, he's still passing by. If you can't find your bearings, look up there. North Star, he's still there. We've all had a season, chasing every light but the true one. We've all mistaken flash for guidance, mistaken loud for the sun. Rising with a purpose, but the North Star never shouts. It just stays there burning steady while the whole world doubts. That quiet things can guide you further than the loud ones can. I stopped chasing every neon light and started with a plan to look up at the steady burning, look beyond the city haze. Found my bearings looking upward, found the oldest kind of ways. If you're driving blind, he's a North Star still. If you lost the way, he's guiding still. If the city lights have drowned the sky, he's still burning steady, he's still passing by. If you can't find your bearings, look up there. North Star, he's still there. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, look up to the sky. If you believe it, if you receive it, somebody testify, he's still burning high. This for everybody driving roads they don't recognize tonight. This for everybody chasing every kind of neon light that promised guidance but delivered only more confusion, more. I want you to pull the car over, roll the window down, look for the steadiest light you've ever known, the oldest, truest guide. It's still there behind the clouds, still burning, hasn't died. No matter how far off the road you think you've gone tonight, look up, find the North Star, let it lead you back to light. If you're driving blind, he's a North Star still. If you lost the way, he's guiding still. If the city lights have drowned the sky, he's still burning steady, he's still passing by. If you can't find your bearings, look up there. North Star, he's still there. North Star. found my great-grandmother's hymn book with the spine held on by tape. Some of the pages so worn through you could barely read the words. If you've forgotten your grandmother used to hum, if you traded old songs for the newer, louder ones to come, if you've lost the melody that carried you through harder days, we've all forgotten some old song that used to light the way. We've all traded quiet in for something flashier, something new. We've all lost a little wisdom in the trade, lost a few of the truths that only slow songs, only tear-stained pages hold, truths that only come from hymns that have gone through the years gone old. If you feel easy old hymn book, if you feel distant, take another look at the songs that carried saints through darker days. In mine, he's still singing through the pages, through the ancient rhyme. If the melody feels foreign, learn it still. Old hymn book, sing till. We've all got a grandmother or somebody in the family tree who sang the old songs through the sorrow, sang them faithfully. Through the depression, through the wars, through everything they lost, never traded out the melody, never counted up the cost of staying faithful to the old songs. When the new ones came around, I found something in the singing that I never knew I'd found. A connection to the ones who sang it first, who sang it slow, through the hardest kind of seasons only hymn books seem to know. If you've forgotten, he's the old hymn book. If you feel distant, take another look at the songs that carried saints through darker days than mine. He's still singing through the pages, through the ancient rhyme. If the melody feels foreign, learn it still. Old hymn book, sing until. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, sing the old refrain. If you believe it, if you receive it, somebody testify, sing it through the pain. This for everybody looking for a song that still feels true. This for everybody tired of everything that's brand new. I want you to find an old hymn book somewhere in a drawer. Open up the pages, sing the songs they sang before you were even living. Sing the ones that carried them through the darkest kind of nights. Sing the oldest kind of hymn. There's a wisdom in the old songs that the new ones haven't found. Let the ancient melody come and settle, come around. And if you've forgotten, he's the old hymn book. If you feel distant, take another look at the songs that carried saints through darker days than mine. He's still singing through the pages, through the ancient rhyme. If the melody feels foreign, learn it Singing still, singing still, singing through the years. Ancient song, carrying through the tears. Old hymn book, old hymn book, that's the song I'll sing. "99 stayed in the pasture, safe and counted saves. He went looking for the one who wandered off before the sun went down. If you wandered further than you ever meant to roam, if you lost the sound of every voice that called you home, if you're tangled in the thicket that you can't find your own way through, we've all wandered from the pasture, we've all lost the view. We've all heard a whistle far off in the coming dark. We've all wondered if we've wandered further than the mark, where the shepherd's still willing to come looking, still willing to find the one who's lost and tangled, the one who's left behind. If you're wondering, he's the shepherd's call. If you're tangled, he will climb the wall. If you're the one who's lost among the flock, he'll leave the 99 to find the lost. If you can't find your way, just hear it still. Shepherd's call, shepherd's call. We've all been the one that made the shepherd leave the rest. We've all been the reason for a search that never rests, until he finds a wandering one caught up in the bramble deep. We've all felt too far gone for anybody's love to keep chasing after, but the shepherd doesn't count the cost. He doesn't measure love by whether you're the found or lost. He just keeps on calling, keeps on climbing through the night, till he carries you home safely, till you're back within his sight. If you're wandering, he's the shepherd's call. If you're tangled, he will climb the wall. If you're the one who's lost among the flock, he'll leave the 99 to find the lost. If you can't find your way, just hear it still. Shepherd's call, shepherd's call. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, hear the shepherd's voice. If you believe it, if you receive it, somebody testify you were always his choice. This for everybody feeling too far gone to hear the call. This for everybody caught up in a thicket in a fall that feels too deep for anybody's rescue, anybody's love. I want you to know the shepherd's still out searching from above and below. He's climbing every mountain, crossing every stream, just to bring you back to pasture, just to hold you like you're seen. You were never just a number in the flock that he forgot. You were worth the whole search party, worth every single thought. If you're wandering, he's the shepherd's call. If you're tangled, he will climb the wall. If you're the one who's lost among the flock, he'll leave the 99 to find the lost. If you can't find your way, just hear it still. Shepherd's call, shepherd's call, shepherd's call, shepherd's call. Carried home now, carried home now, carried on his shoulders still. Found it less, found it less, found and never lost again. Shepherd's call, shepherd's call, that's the love that never ends. The old well behind the house never ran dry. Not once, not through the worst drought. Grandma said some wells just know how to keep giving. If you've been drinking from a cup that never fills you up, you've been thirsty even after every single sip. If you search for water in 100 empty wells, we've all been thirsty for a love that never fails. We've all drank from something shallow, trying to be enough. We've all learned the hardest way that shallow water's tough on a soul that's really craving something deeper than the rest. There's a well that never empties for the ones who come and rest. If you're thirsty, he's the well that's deep. If you're empty, he's the one to keep. If you need water that will never run dry, he's a spring inside you, he's the reason why. If your cup feels shallow, he's a deep. Wells run deep, wells run deep. We've all met the woman at the well before we knew her name. We've all carried water jars of guilt, of hurt, of shame, trying to fill a thirst that no man ever could. But she left a jar behind her once she understood that the water Jesus offered wasn't from the well at all. It was living water rising up whenever she would call on the name that never fails her, on the well that never dries. I left my jar behind me too the day I saw his eyes. If you're thirsty, he's a well that's deep. If you're empty, he's the one to keep. If you need water that'll never run dry, he's a spring inside you, he's the reason why. If your cup feels shallow, he's the deep. Wells run deep, wells run deep. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, let the water rise. If you believe it, if you receive it, somebody testify, he never runs dry. This for everybody drawing water from an empty well. This for everybody drinking from a cup that couldn't tell the difference between filling and just barely getting by. I want you to leave your jar behind and hear the reason why. He's still calling from the well, still offering the spring, still inviting every thirsty soul to come and drink. You don't have to carry water anymore, you don't have to strive. There's a well that keeps you full enough to feel alive. Wells run deep, that's the peace I know so well. My grandpa never had my theology, just a barn and a Bible. Said faith ain't complicated, boy, it's just leaving the door open. If you've been locking every door to keep the herd outside, if you've been building walls too tall for love to climb inside, if you've forgotten what it feels like trusting anybody near, we've all closed a barn door once out of nothing else but fear. We've all lost something precious 'cause we thought we had to hide. We've all learned the hardest way that closed ain't the same as safe inside. We've all watched the animals get restless in the dark, waiting on somebody brave enough to open up and start. If you've got a wall, he's the barn door of faith. If you feel locked, he's the open gate. If you need trust after all you've lost, he's worth every door you have to cross. If your heart's still guarded, he's the way. Barn door faith, barn door faith. We've all had a reason once to swear we'd never trust again. We've all had somebody break the barn door down and let the wind blow everything we loved away before we knew what hit. But Grandpa kept on leaving doors unlocked in spite of it. Said you can live your whole life bolted, live it safe and small. You can leave it open knowing love might cost you all the safety that you're used to, but it's worth the open door. That's the kind of faith I'm chasing, that's the kind I'm looking for. If you got walls, he's the barn door of faith. If you feel locked, he's the open gate. If you need trust after all you lost, he's worth every door you have to cross. If your heart's still guarded, he's the way. Barn door faith, barn door faith. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, open up the gate. If you believe it, if you receive it, somebody testify before it's too late. This for everybody bolted shut from something in the past. This for everybody scared an open door won't ever last. I want you to try it. Try the smallest crack of light. Let a little trust come through before you lock it back up tight. Grandpa's barn stayed standing even though the door stayed wide. Nothing that could hurt him ever came in from outside that he couldn't handle, with a God who kept him warm. Open door don't mean unguarded, means you trust who calms the storm. If you got walls, he's the barn door of faith. If you feel locked, he's the open gate. If you need trust after all you've lost, he's worth every door you have to cross. If your heart's still guarded, he's the way. Barn door faith, barn door faith.